Is Hardcore Rebirth of the Night a good idea? No.
Rebirth of the Night is considered to be one of the hardest mod packs to complete in hardcore mode. The main reason for this is because a lot of mechanics are specifically designed to ensure that they kill you quickly and provide little chance for you to escape. Every game stage that you unlock brings with it either upgraded versions of old mobs you've already encountered before, or new mobs that bring with them new mechanics, such as the Plague Effect. Compared to other mod packs like RL Craft, a lot of mechanics are very difficult to cheese, so in order to survive, you actually have to play the game. Even a single misstep can mean the end of your Hardcore Rebirth of the Night playthrough. With that, let's go ahead and delve right into my 100-day journey into Hardcore Rebirth of the Night. I hope you guys enjoy. I went ahead and started a new world with a random seed and hoped for a good spawn. I started off by punching down some trees, collecting the wood here, and for a moment I forgot I wasn't playing Skyblocks, so I just started doing the Twerk Dance mod. I started gathering rocks for stone tools and grabbed a little bit of food to kickstart my journey. I made a hoe in order to break some grass to get plant fibers and other things like that. Hoes can break a 3x3 area of foliage, so they're really helpful for collecting large amounts of plant matter. I also decided to get a little bit of this cattail in order to make some wool to get an early bed. While chowing down on some delicious raw rice, I found these marshmallow plants, which are really important because each marshmallow plant item gives one shank of hunger. They're very easy to grow, they're very abundant, and they have no season requirements. So this essentially means that I'm set for food until the late game. I found a nice exposed outcrop of ore, so I immediately got to work, and I also noticed that there was an ice village in the background, so I was going to head there for the night. I claimed this guy's house as mine and got to work setting up some basic amenities. Let's go ahead and piss off the Lorax some more. During my expedition, I found a reindeer to make my trip a little faster. I wanted to make a grove sprite friend, but he decided he would rather die than talk to me. At this point, the sun was starting to set and I could not find my way home. I knew I was only a little bit screwed. If there's anything that I've learned from my previous playthroughs, it's that staying still is what's going to get you killed. So I just kept on moving. On the plus side, the Aurora Borealis was actually pretty good looking. Throughout the night, I had a lot of really sketchy experiences, but it's like I have plot armor or something. I just couldn't die. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I'm actually the world's best driver, which is exactly how I got stuck inside this hole with my reindeer and came under attack by the zombie, but I was actually able to survive. After a few more grueling moments, I was finally able to get home and I immediately hopped into bed. After clearing out my inventory and making a new set of tools, I set out on a glorious journey for beautiful day number 2. I really gotta make sure that I go see a dentist because I've been eating so many marshmallows recently. I still wasn't over getting rejected by the Grove Sprite, so I decided to go ahead and befriend a chicken. While traveling through the bamboo forest, I came across this magnificent temple, a relic of a bygone era, a testament to gods long forgotten. So of course, I did what any other famed archaeologist would do and tore it down like the Berlin Wall. I was able to yoink some goodies, including 3 sticky pistons, which would come in handy later. While riding home, I came across this little chameleon who I fed watermelons and named Herbie Hancock. If you know, you know. When I got back, I tried to move these chests to another room because I was getting a little bit cramped, but Herbie's cheeks were just too thick and I couldn't move. After crafting a stack of torches, I decided to head down into the mines to grab some resources. Just got my first copper, now all I need is some rubber and I can make some LV wires. Ooh, wait, no, that's the wrong mod pack. While digging down, I came across this underground ravine where I found a piece of stone that actually turned out to be a creeper. Being the idiot that I am, I decided the best course of action was to go and fight it. God damn it. After that tragic incident, I decided I didn't really want to mine anymore, so I headed up to the surface to try and get some sleep. The weather was really apt for the occasion, and of course the mobs would not even let me get under the covers. In my grief, I almost gave my own life because of how little I valued it. I finally got back to my house and fell into a merciful deep sleep. I woke up to the rain finally subsiding on day 3 and topped off the morning with a wonderful breakfast of marshmallows followed by even more marshmallows, and then I went ahead and got to work. Today's goals were pretty simple. I was going to make some bronze, forge armor, and head back down into the depths of the ravine. I was really frustrated from the night before, and I don't know what got into me, but I started taking out my anger on this villager and I killed a man. I didn't mean it. While grabbing a bucket of water, I was attacked by a voracious eel who decided that all he wanted to do in life was latch onto my leg. Because of the weakness 2 that eel kept applying to me, I actually couldn't kill it, so I simply resigned myself to accepting this as a failed run. However, fate intervened and he actually suffocated to death because he was on land, so I picked up his flesh and ate it in front of his friend. I was finally able to craft my multi-purpose stone anvil, the first piece of the puzzle to get bronze. All there was left to do was to get a kiln, some more copper and tin, and we would have bronze for days. While I was waiting for the stone to cook from my kiln, I decided to go ahead and make a quick pen so I could put all my animals away safely. As I was heading back to grab some more fences to finish up my build, I realized that the kiln was ready to be made, so I went ahead and did that really quickly. After finishing up the pen, I moved all of my animals inside. Now the villager could finally chill in peace in his dirt hole. I tried to make some sticks here, but the game ended up freezing and I had to quit. By the time I was able to get back, it was already nighttime, so I decided to just hit the sack and call it a day. Hopefully day 4 would be a little bit more productive. By now, I think you already know the drill. Wake up, have a delicious breakfast of marshmallows, and plant some more marshmallow roots. I used my sledgehammer to smash my copper and tin alloys into small pebbles and cooked it to get my first 8 pieces of bronze. I spent the rest of day 4 down in the mines because I only had leather pants to my name at this point, and if I wanted to survive any longer, I knew that I needed more armor and weapons. And honestly, getting a new set of tools would be pretty cool as well. While getting shot at like a student protester in Tiananmen Square, I actually found this archaeologist's house, which I had missed the first time I came down here. His trades weren't all that great, but I could at least now turn bones into emeralds. After smashing in the skeleton's skull with a hammer, I decided to turn back. There was no point triggering the monster box right now. Because I didn't want to go any further, I went back up and started processing some of the ores that I had mined. Sticks were not going to cut it for smelting bronze, so I used my hard-earned coal instead. Making some ranged weapons, now I can finally commit my own war crimes. Using the iron I just smelted, I was finally able to craft the most overpowered weapon in the game, the saber.
There is one more thing I want you to have.
With my first batch of bronze complete, I decided to make a little bit more. Oh boy, my first chest. This armor is complete garbage, but you know, it beats dying, so whatever. After bone mealing copious amounts of wheat, I finally went back and made the Farmer Life set, which was by this point very long overdue. With my newfound confidence and cool gear, I decided to head back down, and quite literally went down. Whatever, I got a few new shiny rocks out of it, so hey. I mined this absolutely massive vein for a while, and didn't really expect to get much out of it, but suddenly... Diamonds! There we go. Now we can finally progress. I started filling up the holes in the top part of the ravine because I remembered what happened to me earlier, and if I fell again, my legs wouldn't be the only thing that broke. Just American things, I guess. I mined so much coal I made the 1850s look like the agricultural revolution. Afterwards, I started carving out a kind of larger side path so I didn't have to play hardcore parkour with my life every time I wanted to cross the ravine. While this was primarily for my safety, I also needed a lot of building materials because I was planning to work on my base soon. A broken up ice village can only last you so long. As I explored along the side of the ravine, I found this interesting dungeon looking thing. I decided against going into it because I didn't want to die this early on. Maybe later I'd throw away my life. More building. I'm absolutely terrified of heights now. I forwent sleep tonight because I needed to make sure that all of the components for my base were ready as soon as I was able to find a good location. With it being almost day 5 already, I knew I had to prepare quickly for the invasion because if I didn't, things would get real ugly real quick. I tore apart the final untouched house and made a quick super smelter to process all of my miscellaneous ores.
I'm a crapper, I'm a blow your house and the diamond.
Oh no.
After a while, everything was done smelting, so I made the bricks and gathered my metals. Day 5 had finally rolled around. Before I left, I said hi to a grove sprite that randomly wandered into my camp, and then set off on a journey to go look for a new place to put my base. The main thing that I was looking for was a nice large flat area that I could build on easily, somewhere that was also close to a lot of different points of interest, and of course was located in a nice looking biome. I didn't really want to build my base in like a swamp or something. After a little bit more exploring, I found this nice plateau to build my base on, and while it is a little bit barren, the bright side is that it's right next to a river, so I have infinite water. It's close to a lot of different points of interest, including the ice village, and finally, the ground is stony, so the only zombies that can break through with their fists are the ghosts of Jackie Chan and Chuck Norris. Back to chopping wood, I need a lot because I'm planning to make a lot of replaceable scaffolding to outline my base first before I put in the stone bricks. The great thing about stone bricks is that they're really hard to break with a pickaxe, but the really bad part is that if you screw up, then you have to break it with a pickaxe and that takes a really long time. Look at that, a new growth sprite friend. I sure hope nothing bad happens to him this time. After I brought him back, I put him inside the pen to make sure that he couldn't get away. I mean, to protect him so he couldn't get killed, of course. I also fed him a few pine cones because he looked like he was hungry. After befriending the Lorax incarnate, I went right back to deforestation. I really needed a lot of wood for this project after all. Here we are, turning all of the wood into industrial products. I guess killing Mother Nature really is quite profitable. After crafting all of the scaffolding, I put it in a chest so I could bring it along with me tomorrow for the construction. I decided to eschew that quote-unquote bodily necessity called sleep for another day and went to work in the mines gathering some raw materials to make stone bricks. As I strip mined, I looked at my sea counter to check if there was a cave in front of me, and I realized that there was, although not in a way that I wanted to be told.
We look at it as surprise mechanics.
My inventory was starting to fill up, so I went back up to the surface to drop off some of my stuff and start processing the raw materials. I decided to gamble my emeralds on some baubles here, and while I didn't really like losing reach distance or attack damage and speed, having damage resistance was the single most important thing to me right now, so I didn't really mind that much. The amulet gave me some attack speed to compensate anyways, so it was fine. After cleaning up my chest for a bit, I went ahead and grabbed my metals from the auto smelter and put them away. I wanted to get a little bit of sleep, but as dawn broke, I was unable to do so. With that, day 6 had begun.